Hey, what's up guys, this is the Crosshair channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm doing a demo review of a subscriber from my YouTube channel. His name is Syber on YouTube, but now his name is, in this demo, his name was Caden. And he used to be Master Guardian 1, but now he's a Gold Nova 4, so just deranked one time. But yeah, so it's cash. Let's get into it. I've already seen this demo, but I couldn't import the video file into Sony Vegas, so I had to do it over again. But it's pretty good, and there's a couple of points that he could work on, if I remember correctly. Oops, auto is on. So he likes to go squeaky a lot. So it's good that he was watching Highway from Squeaky. They should have bought a smoke for the cross. But there's not much you could do without a smoke. You have to peek sight. So as you guys can see right there, his movement is better than the other demos I've reviewed. Like, he's peeking and he kind of like knows where the people are. I don't know. Like when that guy pushed quad, he kind of like peeked and then stopped and then just like blasted his face off. But he just had his movement ready where he like reacted and stood still so that his velocity was reset and then took the shot. Just all in all, right there, he peeked the angles correctly. The only thing wrong that he did there was can you pause it? The only thing wrong he did there is he peeked highway. He didn't clear it very well. Like, he peeked highway, he just peeked in the general direction, but he didn't actually keep his crosshair. Like, first the highway box, then maybe the bottom of highway, or the ladder, and then the top of cat. So you just need to really think where your crosshair is at that point. Because if you peek quad and you die from highway, it's so much easier for the CTs to retake it if they know quad is clear. Because usually they only send one quad, and if you're highway and you're trying to push on A site, fighting default and quad at the same time is really hard. So if they know quad is dead, they can kind of take a gamble and push on site and make it really hard for you guys to plant the bomb. Just be really careful at quad, peeking highway. So now I got a boost. It's an eco round. They're here in the B push. Just alright aim. Yeah, just careful. I don't know, you just missed the guy. That's why it wasn't a good play. But I always try to make, when they're pushing me on an eco, I always try to peek one guy at one time, or be at an angle where they can only peek me by walking into my crosshair, which that was pretty good, but he just got out. So if I knew they were pushing me mid, I would have like went a little bit closer to the mid main wall and turned out and like took one at a time and slowly peeking it like that. Because the best way to get like a rifle on an eco round is to push him and then have some people go wide and some people peek short. Just to like overwhelm the guy with the gun. You can't just peek him one by one on an eco. It's always better to rush him. So you know your teammates be main, you don't have to watch it. Nobody else is watching heaven, so you're actually doing something good. And he gets a kill there. Nothing bad so far. So right there, I usually say don't peek it without a flash, but at this rank you can probably do that, and they lost a couple of rounds without getting kills. So on the CTs, if you don't get a decent amount of kills, it's unlikely that they'll have an op next round, unless you notice the guy was saving. Like, oh shoot, this guy didn't even buy a pistol on second round, so he's probably gonna have a lot of money. So just noticing what the other team is buying it'll let you know if the guy can afford an op. So you had an opera peek at first, and then you peeked it. So I'm pretty good with that play that you made here. It looks like you guys are just gonna push B. Right here, I would kind of hurry it up. When you're in sunroom, you're not really helping your teammates. Okay, there. Always try to walk under heaven. I do this all the time. I just get greedy, not greedy, but impatient, and walk up site when we just get like 2 picks. But someone can always be heaven, so just smoke tree and then go under heaven. So that round you smoked tree for them, but then you were kind of sunroom and you weren't helping them take the site. You want on T pushes, you want them to burst out onto the site instead of 2 people peeking at once. Oh, we got a pick. Now the site's free. You want to like burst on the site with a flashbang together. 3 people pushing out. So just try to go with your team. If you're ever in that situation where you're setting up the nades, try to go out with them as a group. Holding boost. Nice bomb throw. Try it. You shouldn't have walked out with your knife. I mean your flashbang. Just keep your gun out. But you're probably getting calls that it was clear or something, but you gotta watch out for default. Yeah, he was default, but he didn't peek you. So, you guys just won that because you just peeked, but that means the CTs didn't play very well. Like, you just walked up and peeked it. You didn't actually execute on it. So you threw your smoke early, and because your opera won the gunfight or something, that's how you guys got the site. But it's going to be a lot harder at the higher ranks. Like, I turned from it, but... So yeah, what I would do on this round, if you're doing the nades on B, wait till you guys like push up a little bit, maybe flash, and get more of the B main control. And then once you guys are ready to group up and take the site, that's when you smoke, and that's when you flash out, and that's when you molly. So like, if you smoke early, it just lets them know that, oh shoot, there's people coming, we'll be ready. Instead of like flashing... or smoke, then flash, pop flash, and then whatever. So yeah, just make sure you try to use your nades as an execute with the team. Instead of just throwing it early. And not having it for later. Sometimes I throw smokes out A main, a smoke out A main, just to keep them busy. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but that's one way I use it. Oops. Your crosshair is kind of dropping. I would keep it up a little bit more. Like you were aiming at the squeaky door and you kind of dropped it, but he could push you at any second, so just keep it head level. Right now you're aiming kind of low. Should lose this. I think you do lose this actually. Oh, you actually saw him. I would have kept the rifle and I would have executed. Like they weren't on site. I think he was. I know there was one guy maybe site, but I think it was highway and truck wall. I can't remember, but You guys could have executed. You could have smoked the cross, and your dude Fork shouldn't have climbed up on Cat. He should have stayed forklift with the op. And then you had one guy Squeaky watching the smoke push. So I would have just gone on site and gone through the motions. Yeah, it's just getting on site is always better when you're on T side. Instead of staying like in front of A main and one guy Fork, it's always better to get site control like as soon as possible. Because once you have sight, it's so much harder to retake as a CT. Once you get to quad and the sight, it's a lot better. So when you're in that situation, a 2v3, instead of kind of like holding like that until you're like you don't have any more utility left, I would try to focus on getting the sight before you use up all your utility. Because it's really hard. Like so you're stuck in A main, one guy's stuck in Squeaky. The highway guy's gonna try to make a play. Like the forklift guy needs to make a play. But he can't really peek because sight's right here and highway's right here. Truck wall's up there, so that's 3 angles. He's stuck right there, unless the Squeaky guy can hold highway for you. But it's still really hard, because like you can hold highway without peeking Squeaky. So you just really need to use that smoke, and you had one. I would have kept the AK too. Like just smoke the cross, keep the AK, and then maybe flash sight, and then let the Squeaky guy go out with the flashbang. Oh, you gotta be careful. Yeah, always have your crosshair be main when you cross. Sometimes I cross like jumping without having my crosshair at it. So you guys are just taking B out of aim duels. That doesn't happen that much at higher ranks. It does, but people know how to stop that. People know how to punish you for doing that. I did say this on the last video. The video that I couldn't put into Sony Vegas. I was saying just like help your teammates get on site more at that time. Like for some reason it took so long for you guys to plant the bomb. So just like watch something instead of kind of hiding. You could hide and try to like kill the guy who drops the vent. Or you could watch something and kind of like secure the site. I don't know. Good job. Yeah, you died there because you stood still and 2 people peeked you at once at that last part. But I like how you peeked the first guy. You peeked one at a time, and then you peeked the left side of Sunroom, and you saw the guy who was holding the B main spot. If you killed him a little bit faster and then like went back, then you could kill the third guy that was rushing. But that's like if your aim is on point, which it kind of was here. Like it was like you were taking him down. But maybe the safer way to play is holding. So if you sit Sunroom, you have the cover advantage, like because there's a wall and then there's toxic barrel right there, and you can hide your head right there. Or you could hold B main more, so that they have to go that way in order to peek you. Like they can only peek you one by one, whereas if they're both checker and B main pushing you at B, they can peek you from. They can peek you twice, like 2 people at once, and that's what you don't want on an eco round. You want to peek the person one at a time. So like you could hold B main instead of Sunroom, and then just take one down and back up a little bit, take one down, back up a little bit more, and then take one down, just so that you don't lose the gun, but you do get the kills. Like losing the gun is more important than getting like 3 kills. Like if it was a professional match, they would be happy with like 2 people dying and getting a gun. So if you really just want to like try hard, win every pug, just don't give them any guns on eco rounds. Just don't let them save and don't die on eco rounds, because then it'll be a lot harder for them. That's the primary goal for eco rounds. They're trying to get a gun. And people who are greedy, they try to get kills on eco rounds. I get to pick mid. This guy rotates off A, which is bad. There could be one highway, so just be ready to peek toxic barrel. That's like the most common spot. Just remember where your crosshair is. Try to peek toxic barrel before you open the door. Like have your crosshair there already. Yeah, people do like to spray quad. And watch out for nades too. You probably dodged a shot. You don't have to commit to the fight right there. Like you could wait a little bit longer. But I don't know, that round was kind of up in the air. For my judgment, like I might have peeked that too and then died. And that's like a trade kill. But you could have stayed alive and just made him push you and then take him longer to get to the quad. So I think I'm okay with that play. You can break sunroom by shooting through the wall. When you're coming into B main, if you shoot like the glass at the top of the wall, you can break it without having to go all the way sunroom to break it. Just gotta look it up. One heaven, you went under headshot, so you didn't have to bother with him. Nice job. Your teammates weren't really watching. They could have pushed at any time, like tree or heaven. So just be the better man and say, hey, I'm watching headshot or I'm watching heaven. Just in case they push. Because your teammates were like looking all sight, looking like dummies. But if sight's clear, you need to have your crosshair at a better position. Just in case they push. So yeah, just like try to commit to headshot or commit to heaven watching it so that you guys can plant safely. Like you were looking at sight at a terrorist. It's kind of useless crosshair placement. Whoa. Yeah, it's a hard fight. I even lose that fight too. I probably would have bursted. Not tapped that fast as you did. Yeah. I don't know if you're supposed to take that fight in Squeaky. Are you supposed to... Yeah, I think you're supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to molly fork. Maybe don't die too fast. Like use your nades and then die. So remember you had a lot of nades that could have helped. Yeah, sometimes you get unlucky, but yeah, you can still use your nades and stay alive a little bit longer. And that's just him opping B main. It's a gamble. You can either flash peek it, or you can just peek it, or you can jump and peek it, which jumping is not as good still. But yeah, if you don't want to die, just use a flashbang. Okay, right there, you kind of ran up Squeaky without being ready for a Squeaky push. Oh, there's one truck wall. You should have died right there. Ugh. Good job. I think you kind of faked him out because you didn't smoke highway. They didn't know if anybody crossed yet, but. Just smoke highway sometimes, man. Use your nades. And have your teammate come with you. Like, when you peeked highway, I didn't really like how you peeked it. Like, you gotta be a little bit more safer and kind of be on your feet a little bit more. It looks like you're kind of, like, walking into the peaks. But you gotta be, like, a little bit faster. You gotta intentionally peek and stop on a dime. Every angle, like, when you're quad. So... You gotta kill highway, but if he was waiting for you, usually people are waiting, watching quad from highway. So he probably would have killed you because you kind of reacted a little bit slower than he did on catwalk. But he didn't notice you, so you got the kill. Just be a little bit more intentional with those peaks. Try to keep your crosshair on top of your movement. That's the only thing I can say to describe what I'm talking about. It's like having your crosshair land where you need it and having your movement land right under you at like a nice stopping on a dime. But I don't know. A lot of lower players, they move and their crosshair isn't with their movement, so it's kind of mushy. The only thing I can say is intentional peeking with your movement. I don't know what else to call it. But you can see pros, like when you watch pros do it, they move like with their movement. Their crosshair moves with their movement. And they usually peek like really well. Their movement is really balanced with their crosshair. Like they usually don't move without moving the crosshair with them. I don't know how to explain it. Something like that. So this is the round where you push out, I think, with the bomb. Dead. So you had bomb. This is probably your worst round. You had bomb. You had full nades in your teammates. Was he flanking tree? Wow. You had teammates around, but I would have just waited and executed instead of trying to slow the play. So first you had bomb. 2, you had teammates to work with. You had nades. 3. Yeah, you just slow it down. So like if A main smoked, there's a molly that you can do to molly quad through the smoke. It's like you back up to the front part of lockers where there's like a chair, and then you look up at A main, you know, the A main rim like that, and there's like a line, there's a black line on the wall above A main. So you just run and throw with your crosshair under that line, and then I think if you aim a little bit to the left of that line, you'll hit fence. So if you're gonna go solo out, I would at least molly quad or molly fence and then throw a flashbang, and then that's how you could decently go out A main by yourself. But you had bomb. I don't know what you were thinking here. And I can't like critique you because it was just like a dumb play. I can say just don't do that. I don't know what else to say. You had your teammates, you had nades. You should have went with your teammates. It's just like you just made a bad play. I don't know. You gotta learn how to play it more team-based instead of just like getting picks and oh, I killed this guy. He wasn't watching A main, so I pushed out and killed him. Those are like easy kills when you find someone who wasn't ready. The kills that are harder and that you need to get better at are ones that people are ready for you, but you still outplay them because they're ready for you. I don't know. Those are like kills you want to consistently make. You don't want to like get kills where someone misses their shot, op in quad, and then you kill them afterward. Oh no! So yeah, it doesn't look like your crosshair, or I guess your aim, is very sync with your movement. So maybe work on your movement a little bit more. Like work on peeking things with your crosshair perfectly on the wall. Maybe I'll make a video about crosshair placement and how I think of it. But so right here you had a USP. I really don't spam with the USP at all. I use the P2000 and I still don't even spam with that, even though it has more ammo. But yeah, you were like shooting two, like spraying it, seeing if you could get hits. But it's not worth it shooting someone or body shotting with the USP because it takes like 6 shots or something, and you don't even have that much ammo. So on CT side, you're really looking to shoot heads. So just that's how you want to play. Play for getting headshot kills. Put your crosshair headshot level and don't spam your gun, because with the Glocks, like they're usually gonna run you, and you could just keep your crosshair. They'll shoot you 3 times in the body, and you'll just one tap them in the head, and that's how you want to play. You focus on getting those headshots and shooting controlled. Don't spray, but just shoot fast enough to where you still have the headshot accuracy. You still have the one-shot accuracy. And then when you're in checker, when you're peeking B main, you shot a little bit, and then you went to checker, and then you had to reload after shooting from checker, which is really bad because they could have bursted into checker. So maybe take a few shots in B main, and then go to checker, keep your crosshair at the edge of the cover, and then just wait, and then have your crosshair head level, and then let them peek one by one. So when you're peeking B main, there's multiple people shooting at you, right? So it's good that you went checker, or that you kind of like, it's good if you go somewhere else than other that B main opping angle. So you went to checker, so they had to peek you one by one, but you didn't get that kill very well. But yeah, what I would do in this situation, I would have gone checker after I peeked B main, and then held my crosshair at one angle, and then listen for them running, because they're not going to be walking when it's a B rush on an eco round. So wait for them, listen for them, and then take one shot, back up a little bit, change my angle, take one more shot, and then if I make it even, if it's like a 3v3, I got 2 kills, I would maybe go back checker behind the box and like kind of play with them and stall them so that my teammates can push up, because I'm wasting their time and my teammates are rotating. It's going to be super hard for them to take the site. But I'm pretty sure you guys win this round. Oh, no, you guys don't. I don't think you guys do. It just goes nuts. I think they can see that flash. So I would work on getting a new one. Nice. You kept moving, so he couldn't hit you very well. That's one thing I noticed on pistol rounds. Like, if you're using like a USP and they have MAC 10s, you gotta like move a lot. If he stands still, it's super easy to kill you. They only win like 2 more rounds after this. Yeah, like, you do that a lot when you're B. When you were B main on the first round, or when you're on site B as a CT, the first gun round on CT, you spray a lot with the pistol and you go ADAD. But that's not, you don't want to do that. You want to press A, D, and then A to cancel your movement. So you're like this, like, you want to move like this. Stop. Stop by pressing the opposite key. Stop. Stop. I hope you can see me in the camera. But you want to go and you want to shoot whenever you stop. But right here, you're kind of like 80-80 spamming and you're shooting. So it's like 2-2-2-2-2-2. You don't want to do that. You want to move, stop, move, stop, move, stop, move, stop, and then shoot when you're canceling your velocity. So try to work on that in like a pistol deathmatch server, where you're kind of like shooting at that consistent rate of fire. Like, I don't even spray with my pistol anymore. Like, I do it if I'm not committing to a kill and I'm just trying to get a lucky shot. But, like, I don't know. So, if I know they're lit, I'll spam them, but I usually go for the headshot and shoot different than you do. But you got him. Jumping kill. You probably knew he was lit, so good job. One other thing I want to mention is when you're walking up A main, you don't want to make noise until you can run up until you reach the steps, because you want to walk up the steps. If they're A main and they hear you make any type of noise at the bottom of the steps, they can hear that. So make sure you, as soon as you get to the bottom of those steps, you want to walk before you get on it, and then you want to peek it really fast, but without making noise. So it's like moving a little bit, you're running a little bit, but then you walk, or you stop running before it makes the noise. Alright, good peek. Uh-oh, that's close. You're kind of standing in the middle of tree. That's not good. Nice shot. I will get out of there before they need it. I like to peek heaven a little bit closer to the right. So like there, you took the shot, and then you like looked down to the left. But right there, they have like a headshot angle on you when you peek right there. So I don't know if I can explain it right, but try to stay closer to the wall on this side, the left side of the wall, and peek down a little bit more to the center of the entrance on the site. Or you could watch the headshot push. But yeah, and then you also didn't react fast enough for the guy who like he put a lot of damage into you and you just like didn't move. He shot and you just didn't move away. If you want to take your shot faster than he can like put shots into you. Like you want to play really annoying with the op. Like take a shot and get out of the way as fast as you can. And especially if they're walking up sight too, take a shot and then just get out of the way as fast as you can. And then watch out for the nades. They always nade heaven. And they molly it too, so if you're lit, you never want to be heaven. Like when they're taking the site, but after they take it, and use their nades. So yeah, other thing, when you're opping tree, like so you were B main, you got the pick, and then you went tree. You don't want to stand in the middle of tree. You want to stand either on the right side of tree, so you can fall back to the corner of tree, or the left side of tree, so that there's an angle like this. You're standing right here. You could take the shot, and then you could hide behind the wall. But you're in the middle, so it'd take you a while to walk away if they're pushing B. So just choose one of those sides in tree to op next to. So right here, I would have your crosshair in a better spot. They're not gonna. Yeah, that's what happened. I remember this from last time. Your crosshair's in the middle of the thing, but it'd be better if you had your crosshair on headshot or on the right side of that box, just in case they push you, because that's like a lot of raw aim to do. I don't know why you were looking at the box. You should have been looking somewhere, like at the edge of the box or headshot. And then maybe push the guy if he's walking up. Maybe they walked up and you didn't hear him. Oops. I think that was your smoke. Or what your teammates smoke. I would never try to smoke B main like that. It's completely useless. It helps them more than it helps you. Try to smoke it deeper. Like, smoke it how it's supposed to be smoked. But I think that was your teammate, so it doesn't matter. Whoa. You kind of just expose yourself to mid. Make sure when you're walking out mid like that, you keep your crosshair on mid main and then boost. But yeah, just be careful when you're walking out mid. Like I usually don't even do it. Like I peek maybe mid main, but it's still a gamble because he could still be opping it. Like if your teammate's white box, he's not gonna see boost, and you kind of just peek mid without looking at boost or mid main very well. Yeah, this game's over. Oh, they have such a bad buy. Make sure you learn the lineup, because if they're rushing B, you gotta smoke it. I think it's on the left one. I think. I don't know. But I get it right every time usually. But throw the lineup, or throw the smoke as fast as possible without slowing down. And then drop checker if you want to go checker. Like the sooner you get that smoke down, the easier it is to stop the B rush. Once the smoke blooms, you only see one at a time. If one pushes the smoke, you just have to kill him instead of them pushing the smoke before it blooms. And then you have to like shoot 5 people at once. So yeah. If your intention is to smoke B main at the early of the round, make sure you get it off as fast as possible. Don't like stand, walk backwards, and then throw it to get that speed that you're trying to do. Just learn how to throw it while walking the entire time, or running the entire time. There's not much I could critique here, other than peaking angles with your movement. Like try to be intentional with your movement, and then crosshair placement maybe a little bit better, but it was already pretty good. Don't rush out by yourself with bomb, obviously, and then setting up the game a little bit better. So when you're T side, like use your flashbangs to enter a site. Like if you just start using flashbangs to help your teammates go out, it looks like you were smoking. You used utility a lot, so you're like a support player. So just try to flash your teammate. Hey, I'll flash you out B main, and then smoke tree, then flash out, so that it's like an execute instead of just one by one. You guys are taking aim duels, and then if you guys win the aim duels, that determines if you win the round or not. And then I think that was it. I think you played better than your opponents did. So you should be ranking up pretty soon. Like, it shouldn't be that far back. But yeah, maybe watch a pro player play, maybe Shroud or Stewie, and just see how they peak angles, like where they put their body in the crosshair placement. How tight is their crosshair to the wall that they're moving around, and just try to implement that into your movement. Try to peak as well as they peak, and that's what I try to do. Like I watch pro players crosshair placements and their movement, and I try to see where they line it up, and I try to mimic that. So whenever I peek something, I peek it just enough to get my crosshair there, and I try to peek with my movement so that I stop on a dime, and I'm just like, oop, stop, really hard target to hit. So yeah, I hope you rank up, and then let me know if you have another demo for me, and please don't let it be a demo where you just destroy the other team. Try to make it one where you played your best that you think you did, but still kind of had a hard time. That's the one where you'll learn the most. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.